قالت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أحدث في أمرنا هذا ما ليس منه فهو رد. رواه البخاري ومسلم. وفي رواية مسلم من عمل عملا ليس عليه أمرنا فهو رد. So this hadith is narrated to us by Sayyidatuna Aisha, al-Mu'mineen, mother of the believers, and also Abdullah. This is one of her title, Abdullah. Our mother, Sayyidatuna Aisha, she did not have any biological children, but she was close to one of her nephews.
Ibn Abbas?
No.
No.
Abdullah. Who is the nephew of Sayyidatuna Aisha? No. Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Abdullah ibn Zubayr is married to? Asma. Asma bint Abu Bakr. Asma is the sister of Sayyidatuna Aisha. So we have Abdullah ibn Zubayr was very close to Sayyidatuna Aisha. That if you go to Medina, of all the pillars in Rawdah, there is one pillar known as pillar of Sayyidatuna Aisha. And it's known because Rasulullah said that if you were to know the blessings of praying at a particular spot in the Rawdah, you would have to draw lots to actually pray there. But he did not tell the companions where exactly that spot was. He told Sayyidatuna Aisha. When every companion asked Sayyidatuna Aisha said, no, I'm not going to tell you. The Prophet said not to tell anyone. But when Abdullah ibn Zubayr came, she was very close to Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Abdullah ibn Zubayr asked, where is this place? She just melted and told Abdullah ibn Zubayr that's the spot. And Abdullah ibn Zubayr then told everyone else. Alhamdulillah, because of that, we get to know the blessed spot in the Rawdah for a secret. So this hadith is a very important hadith narrated by Sayyidatuna Aisha. She said that Rasulullah said, Man ahdatha fi amrina hada, those who invent something in this affair of ours, ma laysa minhu fahuwa rad, which there is no basis for it, then it is rejected. And this hadith is narrated by Imam al-Bukhari and Imam Muslim. That means this is a very strong hadith in terms of its strength of transmission. Muttafaqun alayh. And in the narration by Imam Muslim is those who practice man amila amalan laysa alayhi amruna, where you can't find it in our teachings, in our affairs, fahuwa rad, then it is being rejected. So this hadith is the basis for us to understand what is bid'ah. What is bid'ah and the things that are innovation in the religion. And you will find a lot of disagreements among our scholars, among the community, about defining what is bid'ah and what is not bid'ah. And this hadith is the key to understanding what is bid'ah. And the thing is, you will find our Salafi brothers quoting the same hadith, but will arrive to a different understanding. And we will quote the same hadith and we will arrive to a different understanding. And this is something that we have to just learn to live with. There is no way that we should not be forcing them like you have to believe in our way. And they should also respect that they should not be forcing us, because we all come from the same hadith. We are reading the same hadith. So the hadith says, Man ahdatha fi amrina, those who innovate something in regards to our affairs. That means, first of all, bid'ah can only happen with matters of religion. If matters are part of the religion, that means if the Prophet ﷺ went to Makkah for Hajj, riding a camel, can we then take an aeroplane? Is it bid'ah to take an aeroplane? The ibadah is the Hajj. The journey to Hajj, that's up to you how you get there, the best method to get there. The Prophet ﷺ did not use a microphone. Then can we use a microphone? That's also not related, it doesn't change when we pray. And this hadith, there's a hadith where Rasulullah when he reached Medina, Rasulullah saw that Ansar, they used to do this practice. I always forget the English term for this. Kawinkan koko, apa namanya? Kawinkan koko. What do you call it in English? Cross-pollination. Yeah, they were dates. You have to manually cross-pollinate. So usually you have a date tree, you have male and female. One male tree to 40 or 50 female trees. And this is polygamy on a different level. So someone would actually have to manually go climb the male tree and then cross-pollinate, climb the female tree and cross-pollinate them manually. And Rasulullah saw this and asked the companions, Ansari, wouldn't it be better if you just leave it naturally? And the Sahaba await the Prophet ﷺ. But next year, there were not much fruit for harvest. And they told Rasulullah ﷺ about this. And Rasulullah ﷺ said, Antum a'lamu bi umuri dunyakum, that you are more knowledgeable with regards to affairs of this world. It means when it comes to matters of this world, we take it based on what of our observation, scientific knowledge or discovery. When it comes to matters of religion, we take it from Rasulullah. Fi amrina here refers to only religious matters. Now, why then do we have people who accuse it that then if it comes to religious matters and the Prophet never did Mawlid, then is Mawlid bid'ah? Now the issue here is, if it's from a technical, from a linguistic point of view, yes, this is bid'ah, because the Prophet never did it. But is it rejected bid'ah? Because Sayyidina Aisha said, فَهُوَ رَد, it is rejected. Is it rejected bid'ah? Now, an important phrase in this hadith is, مَا لَيْسَ مِنْهُ, that there is no foundation in it, that you cannot find a foundation in the religion. So when it comes to matters that you can find a foundation in the religion, for instance, what do we do in Mawlid? We read the seerah of the Prophet. Is that, can you find the foundation, that the evidence in the deen that encourages us to study the seerah of the Prophet? Yes, it was practiced by the companions, so much so that the companions said that we used to teach our children Maghazi Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as if it was a surah from the Quran. So the companions taught seerah like they teach the Quran to their children. So that means this reading of the seerah of the Prophet was practiced during the time of the companions. What about the qasida? All this poetry praising the Prophet. We knew that Rasulullah enjoyed poetry. He enjoyed qasida. And the Sahaba would recite qasida in the masjid of the Prophet. We know that the masjid of the Prophet had two mimbars during the time of the Prophet. One was the mimbar for the Prophet ﷺ, and another mimbar was for Sayyid Hassan ibn Thabit, the poet of the Prophet ﷺ. He would stand in the masjid on a mimbar, on a pulpit, reciting poetry, praising the Prophet. And after the Prophet passed away, during the time of Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab, Sayyidina Umar heard Hassan reciting qasida in the masjid. And Umar, we know his trick. So he came to the masjid and he said, Hassan, what are you doing? Why are you defiling the masjid of the Prophet? And Sayyidina Hassan said, I used to do this, meaning recite poetry, at a time better than yours, in front of a person much better than you. That means during the time of the Prophet, in front of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Sayyidina Umar then left Hassan ibn Thabit to do what he did. So as we can find a general encouragement, we can find dalil, evidence to doing this ibadah, then it doesn't become a bid'ah. How do we know that we can expand beyond what exactly the Prophet did? Because the companions did so. We know that Rasulullah when he went for his Mi'raj, he heard the footsteps of Sayyidina Bilal in Jannah. And he came back and met Bilal and asked Bilal, what special amal do you do that I can hear your footsteps in Jannah? And Bilal said, nothing special except that every time I do wudu, I will perform 2 rak'ah sunnah salah. And this was not directly taught by the Prophet. There is general encouragement to do sunnah salah. And Bilal just, based on that general encouragement, created his own routine after wudu, 2 rak'ah of sunnah salah. And the Prophet never said, where did you learn this from? This is bid'ah, astaghfirullah, and all this is haram. So this is how our scholars understand that if you can find something, evidence in the deen, general encouragement, general ayat about or hadith about certain ibadah, then we can expand on it. We can build on top of it, as long as it does not go against something that is already established in the deen. For instance, you cannot change something that is established in the deen, even though the more we know that the more sujood there is, the better. That means in terms of the more ruku and sujood, that means the more salah you do, the better it is. You cannot take that and say, this morning I feel good, I'm going to do 4 rak'ah of fajr. 2 rak'ah may not be enough for this morning, we'll do 4. So that is an innovation because there is already an established rule, fajr is 2. But there is general encouragement. Before fajr you can pray sunnah. The Prophet prayed 2. Can someone pray 4? Can someone pray 6? Can someone pray 8? The Prophet ﷺ said, any night prayer, masna masna. You can do 2 rak'ah, 2 rak'ah, 2 rak'ah, and when you feel that it's almost fajr, then do 1 rak'ah of witr. Close it with witr. That means there's a general encouragement there. If you want to do 2, do 2. If you want to do 4, do 4. If you want to do 6, go do 6. You want to do 100, do 100. You want to do 200, it doesn't become a bid'ah because there is evidence in our text that general encouragement for us to do ibadah. The same goes with dhikr. Dhikr in jama'ah or dhikr individually. We know Allah mentioned in the Quran, remember Allah dhikran kathira, abundantly. There is general command there for us, instruction for us to increase our dhikrullah. And Allah also mentioned in hadith Qudsi that if you remember Allah individually, Allah will remember us in Himself. And if we remember Allah in a gathering, then Allah said He will remember us, mention our name in a gathering better than our gathering. So that means there is general encouragement for us to do dhikr in jama'ah. There's also encouragement for us to do dhikr individually. As long as we can find foundation in the deen, it doesn't become bid'ah. In terms of this technical sense of rejected bid'ah. You will find our scholars from the time of Imam Shafi'i divided bid'ah into hasanah and mahmuda and madmuma. This was Imam Shafi'i's division. Bid'ah mahmuda, that's praiseworthy bid'ah, and madmuma, blameworthy bid'ah. And then Imam Al-Iz Ibn Abi Salam, he expanded in that definition of bid'ah. Said bid'ah is not a rule. Bid'ah itself is not a rule. Rule in Islam is you have wajib, sunnah, mubah, makruh, haram. There is no bid'ah. So anything that is new, you have to analyze based on these 5. Whether it is wajib, whether it is, and how can something innovated, something bid'ah becomes wajib? Because we have this principle in fiqh, ma la yatimmu wajib illa bihi fahuwa wajib. If a wajib cannot be accomplished except with something, then that something becomes wajib as well. For instance, you find this in the compilation of the Quran. Our scholars say that what Abu Bakr did was wajib at that time, because had he not compiled with the death of Kufar in the battles of Ridda, then we may have not had, the Quran may have been lost. So what he did at that time was not done during the time of the Prophet. Abu Bakr admitted it was a bid'ah, but he did it and it was needed and becomes wajib. How can a bid'ah be sunnah? What Sayyidina Umar did in Taraweeh, he saw people praying in pockets individually in the masjid. He gathered people and said, let's do in jama'ah, one imam. Everybody pray behind one imam, Sayyidina Ubay ibn Ka'ab. And he said, ni'matu bid'atin hadi. This is the best, most beautiful bid'ah. Why is it sunnah? Because Salat Tarawih, Qiyamul Layl in Ramadan is sunnah. So you just gather people to facilitate people to do it easier and better, then it becomes also a bid'ah, but this bid'ah falls into sunnah. Then you have bid'ah that is mubah, bid'ah that is allowed for you to choose whichever way you want. So the bid'ah that is mubah, you can choose iPhone, you can use Android. The Prophet never used any smartphone, but it is mubah. Or you can choose Nokia, no problem at all. No, there's no blame on people who use Nokia. It lasts forever. So this is bid'ah that is mubah. Bid'ah that is makruh, that leads things that lead to makruh, then becomes makruh. For instance, we see wastage in food during Ramadan, as long as it's consumed. But this practice of doing jama' of our meals during iftar, we do jama' of our breakfast, lunch, tea, dinner in one meal. It was never practiced during the time of the Prophet. Iftar was like, that is something, it's not haram as long as we consume it, we're not throwing it away. But it is something that is bid'ah, and that is bid'ah that is makruh. And then bid'ah that is haram is when it leads to something that is haram. If you waste your food in that, then it becomes haram. So anything that is new, that didn't exist during the time of the Prophet, we need to analyze it based on this light of whether it's we have evidence in it or not. And this is how traditionally our scholars have understood this hadith. That means not everything that is new automatically becomes bid'ah and haram. Because the Prophet said, "Man ahdatha fi amrina hada ma laysa minhu." There's a phrase, "ma laysa minhu." If he said only "man ahdatha fi amrina fahuwa rad," then it's wrong. Laysa minhu means there's no foundation in it. You cannot find evidence to support it. You're not depending on something that exists, then it becomes something that is rejected. Inshallah, so that is hadith number 5. Next month, when if the weather is good, inshallah, we'll meet again for hadith number 6. Thank you very much for your attendance today, coming and joining us. Beautiful Sunday. And inshallah, we will end with dua.